It's a quiet Tuesday in the RV capital of the world. Shoppers splurge on Concord Mall's over 30 stores, unaware of the fact that only a wall separates them from a corpse. It wouldn't be long before police swarmed the scene. There, in the mall's theater, they'd find William Miller, murdered. The only thing the community could think to themselves was, how could this happen? Especially in a place like the Concord Mall. Decades later, we sought to keep the story of his life and the mall alive. We recorded never-seen-before footage months before the mall's closure, but in order to know how it ended, we need to know how it began. Let me take you back to 1965. Shopping malls were booming, and Elkhart was looking to get a piece of that pie. They took a bold step, and they actually adopted a, at the time, unique design, being an indoor mall. On August 8th of 1972, the mall opened its doors to an 11-day festival. Like any other mall, Concord had anchor stores, being Montgomery Ward and Robertson's. JCPenny would add to this lineup in 1976, as trouble began to brew for the mall. A common issue of the time was massive box stores like Walmart and Meijer popping up, which would gradually siphon away customers. So in a bid to adapt, the mall began adding more local amenities, like a theater owned by one William P. Miller. Born on August 30th, 1922, Miller was a man who was dedicated to his community, which left police shocked when they found him shot in the Concord Mall Theater. Soon after, on March 3rd, 1987, the police would apprehend Phil Keller, one of the theater's managers, whose motive has been lost to time. In Miller's passing, he left behind a widow, 2 children, and 2 grandchildren. While his son attempted to keep the theater business alive, all of them would be sold on April 1st, 1990. After Miller's tragic death and the loss of the theater, the Concord Mall was facing a decade-long nightmare PR crisis. The situation worsened when Montgomery Ward filed for bankruptcy in the 2000s. But through all of the tragedy and loss, hope still persisted. In 2022, an ABC warehouse quickly filled the vacant space, accompanied by a Hobby Lobby and a Pippin Dental, as well as new owners. The company Trier Canyon wanted to accelerate this newfound momentum. After purchasing the mall in 2003, the company began aggressively filling storefronts, reaching a 97% occupancy rate by 2004. At this time, the mall was doing great. Customers were filling the stores while listening to the relaxing sound of the mall's centerpiece fountain. But things weren't meant to last. As the shift in the millennium came and went, online retailing began to skyrocket. As a result, the mall began to fall more and more into obscurity. For decades, Concord Mall had been combating this issue by aggressively filling storefronts again and again. But filling stores is a lot easier than filling an anchor store. Carson's, formerly Robertson's, closed its doors after filing for bankruptcy in January 31st, 2018, leaving the mall with only one anchor store, JCPenny, who was already drowning in massive debt in the 2010s, leaving them incredibly vulnerable to the COVID-19 pandemic. Lacking the funds and running out of options, they filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, leading to the Concord location closing in May of 2023. 2 months later, we stroll into the mall, unknowing that we would record some of the last footage of it in operation. In October of 2023, it was announced the mall would close, but not the building. Instead, the structure would be transformed into a mixed-use development site. Headed by a man named Nate Yoder, the site would be reimagined as the Concord Business Park. The process involved whiteboxing the structure and demolishing a connection portion. With the renovations now complete and businesses already moving in, the story of the Concord Mall is coming to an end. Though the mall was plagued by the horrific murder of William P. Miller, for decades, the Concord Mall brought fond memories to the people of Elkhart and surrounding communities. So as the mall's chapter is coming to a close, the business park story is just beginning.